Good evening and welcome to the Isiah Factor Uncensored, and we're coming to you live. We're coming to you live from LA Bar and Restaurant, which is located on Richmond Avenue. And if you're not familiar with the location, it's right next door to Ragin Cajun. Now, we're doing something different here at Fox 26 News. We are bringing you live guests and hot topics as well. Now, some of the guests we have on the show, former Houston Mayor Bill White, along with his wife, Andrea White, who is also an author. Also, we're going to hear from Theresa Roemer, who is known for that Woodlands closet. We're going to talk to all of those people, along with Lauren Reynolds from CBS Radio. So make sure you keep the spot you got. Now, keep in mind, this is for the sick and shut-in. For those people who are at home on a Friday night, we have fish plates ready to go and some of the best food right here at LA Bar. Now, as we kick off the show, we're going to begin with the hot topics. There are 3 hot topics across the nation and right here in Houston. And we're going to begin last week. The U.S. Supreme Court made history. They made a huge decision when it came to same-sex marriage. Now, that left millions of people in this country split right down the middle. Some said it's what the public wanted and a sign of change. Others say allowing same-sex couples to tie the knot would destroy the institution of marriage. Some states held out as long as possible. Texas was on that list, but right here in Harris County, same-sex marriage licenses were given out to those who wanted to take their relationship to the next level. But with marriage comes divorce. We also had the first couple in Houston to file for a divorce just this week in a same-sex marriage. So what does that mean? Marriages will succeed and fail no matter who the people are in that union. Also on the hot topic, we've been talking about this around the country for at least a month. We're talking about the Confederate flag controversy. Now, just when you thought we were getting exactly what we wanted, you throw a curveball to us. Now, while South Carolina's governor said the flag should come down, Hollywood had to jump in and shake up my world. That's right, my world. They essentially putting the Dukes of Hazzards and the General Lee on the banishment list. I never expected the Dukes of Hazzards, Bo, Luke, and Daisy Duke to go down in flames. It was one of my favorite shows as a kid, I guess before I knew better. And also in the news, with the Confederate flag, golfer Bubba Watson has decided to paint over the rebel flag General Lee, that car from the Dukes of Hazzards, he bought at an auction. Now, meanwhile, at NASCAR, organizers were hoping to do a flag swap, an American flag for the Confederate flag, but they say so far no takers, and the racetrack enthusiasts are displaying the flag more than ever right now. So how do you feel about the Confederate flag, aka the rebel flag? We're going to talk about that today. Now, he's been dropped as fast as a cheap date on a Saturday night, and you know who we're talking about, the Donald. We're talking about Donald Trump. When you have a big mouth and a bad haircut, you have to be careful who you offend, even if you're a millionaire. Donald Trump learned this week he can't just say anything he wants. After making disparaging comments about some from Mexico, he's seen many of his sponsors and employees disappear faster than a good tire riding down Richmond Avenue right here in the city of Houston. Now, Trump also took a left hook from Farouk Shami right here in Houston as well. The hair care products guy also cut all ties with Trump. There's no word if his beauty pageants and apprentice show will survive these huge hits.
Under the influence of Frank Marshall Davis, who was a member of the Communist Party, who he refers to over and over in his book, who was a tremendous critic of the United States. I am saying, and I may be wrong, it's my opinion and I'm entitled to it, I do not detect in this man the same rhetoric, the same language, the same love of America that I detected in other American presidents, including Democrats. And I think it guides a lot of the things that he says and a lot of the things that he does.
Now, that is Mayor Giuliani talking about Donald Trump and the huge controversy going on. Joining me now live, my first guest on Isiah Factor Uncensored Live, is former Houston Mayor Bill White and his wife, Andrea White. Glad you guys can join me
Great
Friday
to be
night.
with you, and, you know, congratulations on this new show. It's going to be great.
Absolutely. Either we're going to have to put on seat belts because it's going to be a bumpy ride, or it's going to be smooth sailing.
With you, it's not going to be dull. I can assure you that.
Now, I found out something very interesting. You're a homegirl to me.
I know.
We're both from Baton Rouge.
Absolutely,
What?
absolutely. And eating this Cajun
Exactly.
food.
They're having gumbo from
Really
LA
good.
Bar, and we want to thank you guys for coming out. Now, some of the big issues that are going on here in the community. Last week, the U.S. Supreme Court made a decision when it came to gay marriage. What's your feelings on that?
Well, you know, isn't it remarkable as we've seen public attitudes change over the last really 5 years? You've seen with Germany, and over the last 10 years. There was a time where, when I grew up, you grew up too, we thought marriage, man, woman, that's it. We thought about that. But as people have thought more about the issue of commitment, permanent commitment, loving commitment, you've seen public attitudes change, and I think they've changed in the right direction.
All right. What about you, Andrea?
I thought it was joyful. It was really a great day. I saved the newspaper to have it forever. Yeah.
We've also heard Mayor White about the Confederate flag issue. What's your position on that? Right now, the governor in South Carolina says that she is willing to make a move to take it down, but it takes an act of the legislature, and they said that they're willing to discuss it. If you were there, what would you do?
I mean, I think those flags belong in museums and history books, but not as emblems of who we are on government buildings. That's it.
Okay. I understand, so we need to pull it down.
And pull it down. I mean, you know, we can respect people's heritage as a matter of history without saying this is on a public building as a symbol of identity.
Now, Donald Trump has been in a lot of controversy. I'm sure you've met him before.
Yep, I have.
Okay. So what would you recommend to him as an individual, number one, first as a businessman, and secondly as a politician when it comes to opening his mouth way too much?
The first thing I'd tell him is, in both of those capacities as a human being, go to church, get some humility. And
that'd be below the belt, though, right?
I don't know. For him, it may be a new thing, but I think it'd wear well. And but you know, I think he's more of an entertainer. You know, his business career has been mixed. There's been bankruptcies, insolvencies.
Do you think he's as rich as many people perceive him to be?
It all depends on whether the business cycle. I mean, sometimes he's insolvent, sometimes he's not. He's a promoter.
Right.
And so sometimes you're hot, sometimes you're not. He has a lot more money than most of us, I'll say that.
Andrea, what's your opinion on Donald Trump?
Just, I don't enjoy watching the man, and I certainly am not a follower. Yeah, so.
So you can do without Donald Trump?
I could do without the guy.
And another thing, I want to tell you, I do object to big hair in politics.
Big hair. No more big hair.
No more big hair.
So, Mayor White, what is next for you as a politician, or have you closed that chapter of your life?
And I've done public service before. I love Houston. This job that I had in Houston, because I love, you know, being a public servant, like making a difference. That's been a good job for me. But I've been blessed because I also like to hang around with my kids. I like being in business, and I like just relaxing. So, you know, I'm not one of these obsessed people.
Andrea, you've been busy as an author and as a writer. We have 30 seconds. Tell us what's next for you.
You know, I'm on the Chronicle editorial board and just really loving that. And I'm really blessed to have a guy like this who does have so many interests, and you turn the page and you never know what's next.
So do you guys go to the nightclub after this?
No. We go home and to bed, and sometimes if we really feel frisky, we'll watch an old movie.
There you go. Former Mayor Bill White and Andrea White. Want to thank you guys for coming on Isiah Factor Uncensored, and I hope you enjoyed your gumbo. Compliments of LA Bar.
Superb.
All right.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more Isiah Factor Uncensored in just a moment. We will be talking with Lauren Reynolds and Theresa Roemer. So keep the spot you got. We'll be right back. I love that music. That's the Rebirth Brass Band out of New Orleans, Louisiana, and I personally picked that song. Welcome back to Isiah Factor Uncensored. We're here live at LA Bar on Richmond Avenue, and joining us now live is Lauren Reynolds from CBS Radio, and you're going to talk to us about some of the trending topics on the internet that's going on.
Absolutely.
So what do you have for us?
Well, first up, I mean, all day long, of course, Wimbledon, and it's going to be, we're talking about, of course, Serena, because she just barely by today, so she's trending right now on Twitter. And boy, you know what? She was getting so many hecklers from the crowd that, I mean, she literally turned to the crowd at one point and she said, "Don't try me."
So what do you think that's about?
Oh, you know, the crowd was just, you know, really giving her heck for, you know, her play, and you can't give her that because she's that good. So you got to let her be.
Now, Theresa Roemer is here with us. Have you ever seen Serena Williams play, and what do you think about it?
I love her. I love her. And she does this. Haters go away. Love her. Don't care about her.
Well, we want to thank you for joining us.
Thank
you have
you.
more hot topics.
Absolutely. 4th of July, you know, they have increased security in all the cities just as a precaution. I don't want anybody to freak out or anything, but that's one of the things that's trending right now. You know, I wish somebody would have told me about that, you know, when I was growing up. I wouldn't have blown off my eyebrows one 4th of July. That was just a bad move. On my point.
I think we all did that.
Oh my goodness. You know, another thing that's trending right now is GoFundMe. Now, you know, everybody can set up a GoFundMe account, but the sister of the South Carolina shooter set up a GoFundMe account.
Oh,
and did you
my
hear
God.
why? Her wedding was actually canceled. It was supposed to be held 4 days right before the shooting, and it was canceled. So she wanted to raise money to pay for the cancellations. Can you talk about being a little
How foolish does she think
insensitive?
we are? That's just crazy.
Hey, how foolish. There was $1,500 donated before they took the page down. Can you
So who
believe
took the
that?
page down? Who
She
decided?
actually took her page down.
So did she
because
get like blowback from the community or what?
Absolutely. She was getting a lot of blowback, so that's why she finally took it down. But not after, not until like $1,500 was raised on it. She was asking for $5,000.
Okay.
Unbelievable. So.
Now, I've always had issues with GoFundMe because we truly can't vet where the money is going, right,
Right,
Theresa?
right,
Because people
right.
can say that they're going to use this money for a surgery or for some kind of emergency at the home, and you
Right.
don't have any idea where it's going.
Well, I'm thinking, Theresa, I don't know about wedding etiquette too much, but I'm thinking this is really a bad move on her part.
Well, hopefully morally, you know, she went back to her morals and she took it down. So, hallelujah. I mean, like,
Exactly. Just not a good move.
No.
And the other thing that's trending right now, you may have seen this picture on Facebook because it is so gross, but they found this huge centipede right in the
I
hill
saw that.
country.
I saw that.
Oh my gosh, this was so disgusting. I mean, these centipedes can literally grow up to 8 inches long. They can even grow larger in captivity. And the one that they found in the hill country was about 8 inches long. But don't worry, it's not poisonous.
Okay. So
Yeah,
did it
so-
get away, or what did they do with it? Did they put
I
it
hope
in a
they
zoo?
killed it.
killed it.
Yeah, let's come on. We don't need that.
It's only 8 inches.
Yeah, exactly. Get rid of that thing right now. And so that's what's trending right now.
Oh my God. Well, you had some great stories there, and we want to appreciate you. We're going to see you in just a bit. And when we go to sports, we're also going to talk with Theresa Roemer next segment. So make sure you stay in the spot you got, and we will be back with more on the Isiah Factor Uncensored. And remember, we're here live at LA Bar, right next door to Ragin Cajun, right on Richmond Avenue. Now get here before they stop selling the Jesus juice. We'll be back in a moment.
This is how we do it. It's Friday night, and I feel alright. The party.
And welcome back to the Isiah Factor Uncensored. Once again, we're doing something different here at Fox 26 News. We're coming to you live from LA Bar right on Richmond Avenue. And if you're not familiar with it, it's a new bar and restaurant, and it's next door to Ragin Cajun. And our special guest this evening is the world famous Theresa Roemer.
World famous.
Philanthropist,
Okay.
millionaire. What else can we call you?
You know, I have the world's largest closet. I
The
mean,
world's largest closet. And this is a very interactive show. Rashi Vaz is here. She's going to bring me some water.
Hey.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You get water,
I'll
I
see
get
you
wine.
back at work Monday. Okay. So tell us about this closet. That made you worldwide famous.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the closet was originally designed to just be seen by people that came to the closet for charity events. That's all it was for. And Neiman Marcus decided to do a little thing on it for their blog, which I didn't even know they had a blog at the time. And the minute it hit the blog, it just went viral. It was crazy. I mean, like, who would have thought that many people cared about a closet?
Absolutely, and people love it because it's bigger than some people's houses.
Well, that's true.
You know, and you have to admit that.
It's true. It's
now,
true.
there was some controversy involved with that closet. We want you to put everything to rest. Some people claim that the stuff inside wasn't real. Here's your chance to clear that up. And then some people claim, well, she had something to do with her own break-in just to get publicity.
Yeah.
Deal with that, Theresa.
You know, the sad thing is who would think that a robber has any credentials to state anything? You know, the sad thing is we have evidence of everything that was stolen. We have all the appraisals. We have everything. The police know that. The public doesn't. Unfortunately, the media didn't unfold it the right way. It's okay.
And one of the things when you walked in here, you talked about your frustration with the news media. Luckily, you have the Isiah Factor Uncensored, where you can tell us exactly, you know.
The sad thing is we had a remodel going on in this house for a year and a half, and most people didn't know that. The media never covered that. And so because we had a remodel going on for a year and a half, you know, the last things that go on the walls after they've been painted are glass breakage and smoke detectors and alarms and so on and so forth. And so we didn't have all of that installed yet, but you know.
Let's show, because you came here, we wanted to talk about your new clothing line.
Yes.
So let's not spend a lot of time on that, because you've dealt with that.
Yes.
Now, you have lots of fashions out there. Tell me about your clothing line.
You know, about 2 years ago, I launched the Theresa Roemer True and Real clothing line. And after meeting with Damon John in New York from the Shark Tank, he's led me back to my passion, which is fitness wear. So after 2 years of doing women's wear, we're going back to fitness wear. So this fall, we're rolling out a couture line, and we're rolling out the Theresa Roemer True and Real fitness line, which is my passion. That's my whole life.
Now, where can people find more information about your clothing line?
Well, of course, it's available on trueandreal.com, and it's also available at the Sorrente Spa in Uptown Park. So we're everywhere. We're doing trunk shows everywhere.
Now, a lot of people are wondering, how affordable is it? Could
So
a reporter go and buy something? Or do we have to put a couple of months' salary aside?
It's very affordable. It's very affordable. If you can afford Lululemon, you can afford my stuff.
Now, you're doing a lot of things. You're a self-made woman. What's next for you? Can we expect, you know, I've heard a lot of rumblings about reality TV. Tell me a little bit about that in 30 seconds.
That's always there. We're not, that's always there. I mean, I love TV, I love radio, it's always there. We've got a new book coming out.
Okay.
So there's just lots of stuff. You know, Theresa Roemer's full of interesting things. You never know what's behind the curtains.
All right. Thanks a lot, Theresa Roemer.
You're welcome.
And you will stick with us?
Oh, yeah.
You going to try your gumbo?
I'm going to try this gumbo.
Okay. And your wine?
My wine.
All right. We'll be back with more Isiah Factor Uncensored in just a moment. Once again, we're here live at LA Bar, and we will be back in just a moment with more sports and more Theresa Roemer. Stick with us.
This is how we do it. It's Friday night, and I feel alright. The party's here on the west side, so I.
And welcome back to the Isiah Factor Uncensored. Once again, we're coming to you live from the LA Bar and Restaurant on Richmond Avenue. In the middle is Theresa Roemer, and we are going to hit sports with Lauren Reynolds from CBS Radio. What do you have for us?
You bet. I got to give you all the tops. And of course, you can't go to Twitter or Facebook or anything without talking about NBA free agency. So right now, I want you Rocket fans, don't be worried. We've got Brewer back. We've got Beverly back. You don't need to worry about those guys. But who are the Rockets talking about? LaMarcus Aldridge. So that's who they need to find out about, but they're not going to find out until after the weekend. Now, he has visited 7 teams, the Rockets being one of them. He's gone to LA twice. Who knows, but the Rockets are going to have to clear up some cap space in order to get him. So let's just put it at that. Now, they did draft as their 18th pick Sam Decker. Now, ladies, write down that name, Sam Decker, okay, because he is a Wisconsin alum. Who else do we know is a Wisconsin alum? J.J. Watt. I can see those guys hanging out together, being the dynamic duo, so it's going to be a lot of fun seeing Decker in Houston. So, you know, get out the heels, flip up the hair, the guys are in town. Now I got to give a shout out to the Texans because they did cut somebody, and that was going to be Brandon, and he was cut Brandon Ivory because of allegedly breaking and entering, undrafted free agent, and you know, he was arrested in Alabama, and the Texans said no thanks, and so he's going to be gone now.
So it's a busy weekend in sports, even though it's the Independence holiday weekend.
Absolutely, a lot going on, and with the NBA free agency, I mean, things are up in the air all the time, so it's just crazy.
Okay.
Got to have a lot of balls in the air.
Now, I wish we could have shown the video of J.J. Watts tackling the guy on the stage.
That was
Oh my gosh, was that not fun?
Wouldn't that violate insurance policy somewhere as a player, you know, just putting your life at risk?
I loved it.
I want to know how I can volunteer to do that. Please, I want to be that person.
I do too.
You know,
Did you see that? I mean, what did you think about it?
I loved it. I mean, who better to just go out there and just bam? It was awesome.
Totally staged, but totally worth it.
It doesn't matter.
All right, thanks a lot, Lauren Reynolds. Also, Theresa Roemer, we want to thank you guys for coming out and being on the first Isiah Factor. What did you think about it?
I'm blessed. I'm so honored. Thank you so much.
All right.
Awesome.
We want to thank you guys for joining us once again, and we'd like to thank the owner of the LA Bar and Ragin Cajun for bringing us down. Good night. Have a good one.